Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Radical Rewind Throwback NY2K. So, in the last episode, we started off this grand little escapade, and now here we are in episode 2. You know, just doing stuff. I've done some stuff in my free time, but in this instance, we're going to be taking a look at a console that I've technically built before, but it was more like a pre-production model. I should also mention that this is a fictional console, so it is not real. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy. Also, to anyone who goes to my YouTube channel and happens to see that, oh hey, they have a stream planned. Yeah, I don't know why, but just before the stream, whenever I tried starting it, OBS gave me an error. So I tried again and it actually worked. The only other time it did that, I believe, was on the episode of the Sonic Frontiers Let's Play. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to be starting off with that. Probably thinking, wait, what are you doing? Wait, what am I doing? There we go. So just know that that upcoming thing is only because of that weird little error. So I'm hoping that in a future update to OBS, they will fix that. But we're not focused on that. We are focused on me getting the wrong piece. Wait. No, that was the right piece. No, it wasn't. Okay. Now let's do this. So, the Protendo GameRay is a game system that, well, you can tell by the name what it's inspired by. Well, I mean, the name of the first part of the console's name, which is Protendo. So, Protendo is a fictitious company within the Radical Earth alternate universe that is primarily based on Nintendo. But here's the thing. It's Nintendo if they weren't, you know, hell-bent on, you know, the stuff they normally do to fan projects. Also, I just realized maybe I should have it a little bit wider. Yeah. Because I think what I can do is... Okay. I should also mention that right now I'm just building the bottom of the console, like the... Yeah. Anyway. Now then... Right. So the Protendo GameRay is somewhat inspired by the Nintendo GameCube in a way, but it's also its own unique thing, and I'll explain how right now. For one, the controller is vastly different from the console that I just mentioned, the GameCube. And why I'm saying this is because of the fact that the GameRay has a completely different controller, the console shape is completely different, and it's actually larger than the GameCube. And, yeah. Now, I have technically built the GameRay before, but that was like a very long time ago whenever I wasn't very experienced with building stuff like this. So with my knowledge of different building techniques, well, yeah. Okay. First, need to do something real quick. Need to there we go. Those are the rubber feet of the console. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and color some of the console. Not all of it, just some. But the color I ended up going with is a reference to my old GameCube I used to have. And the official name for this coloration of the GameRay is known as, trying to think. My brain's not wanting to cooperate with me. Oh, right, it's just called Alloy Silver. No, it's called Steel Silver. Steel Silver. I can't speak. Okay. Now then, to round this off, I'm going to do this, and by the way, I hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty freaking good. Alright. So we have the rather thick looking bottom part of the console almost finished. All I need to do is this, and now we have the finished very bottom of the console, which is again rather thick, but I do have a good reason. I do have a rather good reason. And that good reason is simply because of the fact that I want to make sure that the console has a design that looks realistic. So, for reference, if this console were to be a real thing, it would be roughly the same weight as it's hard to explain because I don't personally have this console, but it would be roughly the same weight as the original Xbox. So I know that's not really much to go off of, but it is something to go off of. So again, bear with me. I'm not exactly the best at explaining things in great amounts of detail unless it's like, you know, something. So yeah. Anyway, I should also mention this is the front, this is the back. These sides right here are where the vents will go. So I'm going to go ahead and do said vents. Is 9 side vents, and yeah. So, how I'm gonna do this is, it's my own personal way of doing it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, I'm gonna do that real quick so that way I could give myself a reference point for the controller ports, which will be, again, since this console is partially inspired by the GameCube, it'll also have the same amount of cartridge slot, or no, not cartridge, controller slots. But here's the thing, this is where the console differs. It doesn't need a memory card. It uses its own internal storage unit. So, yeah. It does have a slot in the back for an expansion module. Or they call it the storage expansion module, and what it does is it allows you to expand the amount of storage that you can have within the console's storage. Because it'll act as like a secondary location to store, you know, like save files and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so start off, we're going to do that. Alright, so hopefully it's here. Yeah, here it is. So this right here is what separates the production model from the yeah. Okay, so if I can stop just losing my train of thought like every 5 seconds. So the yeah, see, this is the problem with brainstorming, and like don't get me wrong, I love brainstorming ideas. I do it a lot whenever I'm thinking of something, which by the way, I am actually brainstorming. There's a lizard outside, I just saw it. Alright, we're not focused on the lizards. We're focused on the, gaming console. Anyway, the thing that I was gonna say is that I've been brainstorming, ideas for this year's Halloween Hellraiser stream. And, let's just say that this year is going to be something a bit special because it kind of celebrates a certain movie's 20th anniversary. And I did mention on Facebook, which if you don't have a Facebook, then that's fine. I'm not saying you need one. But basically, I have made 2 announcements on Facebook about, for one, Halloween Hellraiser's making a return, and not only that, but the fact that this year's theme will be related to a movie that is celebrating 20 years of, well, I guess being a movie. Okay. So, yeah. How should I do this? Actually, what am I doing questioning myself? Don't you just love when that happens? Anyway, right. So, the movie in question... Okay, I did it again. Like, what's happening here is... I'm moving my hand at the last possible second, which I don't know why I keep doing that. But anyway, so... The movie in question is a movie that I remember watching a lot as a kid, primarily at daycare. And it's a movie called Spy Kids 3D Game Over, or just Spy Kids 3. And the concept for this year's Halloween Hellraisers is very similar to that movie in that you have a protagonist who is pulled into a game and must find their way out, and they'll meet numerous other people along the way, some friendly, not so friendly, you know, the general gist is that, well, you know, yeah. Anyway, I haven't come up with a name yet, obviously, because, you know, this is still very early in the planning stages, so bear with me here. It's gonna take a little while to actually think of. But all you need to know is Hellraisers is making a return this year, and I think you'll really like it. Because as with anything where I plan something special, I always make sure to do my best. But if you would like to join in on the fun and be a part of the Halloween Hellraisers stream, feel free to, you know, add me on PlayStation. You've seen my PlayStation account's name before, DragosStar534. There's no capitalizations, underscores, or anything like that. It's just DragosStar534. I know the name is a little weird. A little, nowadays people might say it's a little, you know, like, I've had people say that the username is a little, not really childish, but I've heard someone say that my name reminds them of Beyblade, which, you know, fair point. It isn't really based on Beyblade. It's just a name I came up with off of a whim, as I explained in my 10th anniversary stream that celebrated the Dragostar PSN account. But, yeah. Case in point, yeah, Anyway, yeah, so there's that. Speaking of there's that moment, got this and this, and now to cat things off. Right, so we have all that. We have, right, I will color in the rest of this, don't worry. I'm not gonna neglect it. There's that lizard. Okay. It's 5 over here. Anyway, yeah, so, before I move on, I should probably go ahead and oops. Oh yeah, something else to note about that error thing I got. So it's like this weird log thing, but it only happens once. But it's fine. Because, like I said, right after that happened, I just simply started up the stream like normal. So all I have to do is after the conclusion of the stream, which hopefully won't be too much longer. Because, you'll see how fast I'm moving. Like, this is kind of meant to be a guide, so if you want to watch and follow along, if you have Bricklink or Lego Digital Designer, which is discontinued, so I recommend going with Bricklink because it's a lot more versatile. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, with that being said, if you want to follow along, feel free to, because, you know, obviously this is going to be a video after a while, so bear that in mind. Anyway. So, what I said about this console being inspired by the GameCube, I mean that only in terms of, like, what the console is in terms of its specifications. So, in the Radical Earth universe, there is technically a 128-bit console, but they call it 128 HD. And the reason being is because of the fact that it's a combination between HD consoles, which first became a thing in 2006, and 128-bit consoles, which technically first started off in 98, which was with the original Sega Dreamcast that came out in Japan in 98. So, yeah. You could say that this console is technically based on that as well. But, yeah. Anyway, okay. Now, let us get back to oh, right, I forgot something. So, slopes. For that, I'm going to do this, and this. Wait. No, that won't work. I was thinking maybe that would work, but now that I think about it, I think this will work just fine. Yeah. Alright, now to build the back section. And after that, I guess we could move on to the motherboard, which, well, you know, will be easy. Alright. Yeah, so... What am I doing? Alright. So this right here will be where the HD cable goes. Which HD is, you know, high definition, you know, all that other stuff. But you're probably wondering, why not call it HDMI? They call stuff slightly differently in the Radical Earth universe, so yeah. This side's going to be where the power cable will be. And then in the middle will be where the network cable is. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay. Alright, why did I do that? Have you ever had those moments where you already have something planned out and you want to do it, and then as soon as you start trying to do something, you end up doing something else instead? Yeah, so I did plan on putting these here, but I guess it's because of the fact that I was already using these that I let my mind wander off. It happens, don't worry. Happens to the best of us. Anyway. Really? Okay. There we go. Oops. That is not the color I was wearing. Okay. Now then, for first of all, what I was trying to do there is making sure that my idea will be perfect, which it will be. Also, I forgot to color these in, don't worry, I will. Okay, so, this will be holding the motherboard, and the motherboard will have the system on a chip, the, actually, no, it'll have the CPU chip, CPU chip, GPU chip, I don't know. I swear I don't have hiccups. I'm okay. Okay. CPU chip, GPU chip. The RAM sticks, which will actually be not flat. They'll be a little bit more taller, I guess. But yeah. Anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to there we go. But now we can actually get back to the thing I was going to do before I got distracted by my perfectionism. Okay, there we go. Wait. There we don't go. I forgot something else. I want these to fit just underneath the corners, so that way, you know, whenever I place it, they'll be correctly aligned. Because it just doesn't look right if you were to just do that. So, okay. Now, and my stomach's like, blah, blah. I get it, you're hungry, I haven't eaten breakfast. Okay. So you're probably thinking, well wait, I thought you were saying that you wanted to get it just right. These sides will have the flat things on them to sort of like smooth things out. So all I got to do is that, and that. And as with before, color them in, and there's that. Now, let's get to the board. Not skateboard, folks. We're not playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Although I actually happen to have that game for PS5. Okay. So, now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and color the edge gold. Is what I would be saying if it wasn't for the fact that gold, really? Didn't know we were painting this in royal regalia. Okay, yeah, there we go. The gold is actually meant for some of the parts. Metallic green, self-explanatory. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. The middle here is going to be the CPU. Which is called the Manta 1 chip. And Manta 1 is a custom-built CPU for the GameRay. And what it does is... Well, I mean, it's a CPU. What do you expect? Then we're going to build the GPU, which will be a 2x4. Not to be confused with wood. Or, you know, Johnny 2x4 from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Which, by the way, does anyone remember that show? That was awesome. Seriously, that was back when cartoons were actually, like, good. And I mean actually, like, really, really good. Because, nowadays we have stuff like Teen Titans Go and stuff like that, which, granted, you know, Teen Titans Go isn't terrible, but I just don't really like it all that much. It's, yeah, and of course, no hard feelings to the creators of the show. It's their show, they do what they want, so, yeah. Anyway, for this, we're gonna paint this. So the tops of those will be gold, and the bottoms will be metallic silver. And now for the storage, which will be there we go. That is the motherboard. Almost completed. Wait, you thought it was finished? No. Now, as we approach the end of this part of the build, fun fact, today is officially the 10th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5. And, the funny thing is, briefly I was thinking about doing like an anniversary stream, but then I realized, oh wait, I did a Let's Play that game a few years ago, so I'd rather not. It's not that I don't want to, it's just I don't plan on it. So that's literally it. Anyway, alright. We are all done with the bottom of the console. So, yeah. And now, if I would stop having voice cracks, we're going to be working on the top parts. And, you know. Alright. What? Oh my god. Seriously? Yeah, so I was just looking at something. Also, I got a phone call earlier from someone. Not a random phone call, it's just... eh. Hold on. And back. Okay. Yeah, so... there we go. There we go. So you're probably wondering, well, what are you building here? The disk drive? Because, like I said, since this console is going to be fairly similar to its real-life counterpart, the GameCube, I thought it best to have like a opening disk tray just like it. So, yeah. Yeah. Wait. Anyway. By the way, if you're wondering about the program I'm using to build this, it's called Bricklink. You can look it up. It was once a fan-made successor to Lego Digital Designer after its discontinuation, but now it's actually owned by Lego, so it's literally like official. So you don't have to worry about, you know, yeah. Anyway, time to paint. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, I see the problem. Oh, do ya? Alright, oh boy. Yeah, okay. What if I use a smaller one? Maybe that'll work. There we go. Now for the spinner thing. Yes, the spinner thing. That is the official name. I know it's called a turntable, but I'm talking about like what it would be in real life if this were like a real thing, which again, it's not. It's never going to be. It's literally just me just making something for fun. That's literally the whole reason why I'm doing this. Excuse me. All right. Okay. Now then. Should probably go ahead and do this before I forget. So, yep, that is the, wait. No, I can't do that yet. Okay, wait. Oh, oh, booyah. That's good. That's really good. Okay, well, that streamlines the process. Right, by the way, to the people watching, because I did see that earlier when I was looking at my phone. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, so there's that. Um, okay, there we go. Now, the reason why I did that is so my phone can go off in the background. No. No, it's here's for this. Because what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to have the hinge pieces like these arranged like this. And of course, you know, just also, in case anyone's wondering, I won't be playing music in the background just for the sake of hoping that it doesn't overlap my voice. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so have that, and now for this. So the disc reader uses a dual laser scanning system that scans the disc, and the reason why it's a dual laser is because of the fact that the dual lasers are wired to a high-speed reading system. That means that when a disc is inserted and the disc slot is closed, the console will be able to immediately recognize the disc. And that goes in line with the fact that the GameRay itself is the most powerful console within its generation. Which is weird because, you know, the real life counterpart, the GameCube, it's just a hair under the Xbox, I think, like the original one. So, yeah. I did that because of the fact that, you know, why not? You gotta play like a pro, right? Yeah. That is literally their motto, by the way, for Protendo, is play like a pro. And I wanted to do that as a sort of like, haha, funny. But it actually sounds really cool. So, yeah. Anyway, will this fit? Yes. Okay, good. Good. I sounded like Mr. Krabs there. Okay. Alright. Now to fill in the gaps. This is as easy as, well... These are 2x3s. But here's how I'm going to do that. Alright, so now for I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is so the GameRay itself features 3 buttons on the front, like on the top part of the console. You have the power button, we have the... Wait, no. It'll only have 2. It'll have the power button and the eject button. And in the middle will be the power indicator. Actually, no. What it is that the disc tray itself, because this is a clamshell style console where it opens up the disc tray, what's going to end up happening is that the console itself will have, oops, it'll have me not knowing what the heck I'm doing. Alright, don't you just love it when you lose your train of thought? Happens to me all the time. Anyway, so this is an example of one of the buttons, but obviously it's going to be higher up, so yeah. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We got it. 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 We're gravy. Right. We're gravy. Yeah. Perfect analogy. Okay. So we have that. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hey, Jim boy. How did I do that? Oh, that was a great big ball of epic fail. Oh, thank you. Yeah, also, you might have noticed on the channel, if you were to look at the live streams or whatever, you would have noticed that there's one stream that says upcoming. That's because of a weird error that OBS gave me. It's only happened once before. Oh, yeah. But the only reason why that even happened in the first place is because of the fact that, you know, like, it usually happens whenever I use OBS for the first time after an update. Like, to when... Yes. Yes, I'm in my room. Okay. You're welcome. I'll be right back. I had to do something. Alright, I'm back. Just had to help out with something. Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, I think... No, that's way too big. Okay. So, I should mention that the actual buttons here will be a completely different color from the rest of the console to give it a little bit of contrast, just like with these. But they won't be the same color as those. Like, at all. It's just... yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, how is everyone doing today? Oh. Yeah. Because, the mic I'm using is the, Siren X, I think? Yeah. Like, that's the mic I always use when streaming. Although, whenever I've done, like, VR streamings, which I do plan on getting back into, so I've not neglected those at all. I'll be using the headset mic, assuming it'll actually work. I'm doing good. Um, the funny thing is, to be honest, the console you're making looks almost like the front of the car. It's actually kind of a fun fact. One of the things I plan on building in Bricklink is something related to the Delta Fang game I've been telling you guys about, which, to newer viewers... Wow, that rhymed. Delta Fang is a fictional video gaming franchise inspired by Star Fox. Although it has its own similarities to it, because, you know, that is the source material. But the difference is that the games themselves are a lot more grand in scale. Although the first game was still pretty simplistic, even though it had, like, you know, you could fly in any direction at certain points. Delta Fang 2 was sort of like Star Fox 2, where you could transform your starfighter into a walking mech. Delta Fang 64X was, well, based on Star Fox 64? You kind of get what I'm going with. But, in Delta Fang Conflicts, which is the newest game that came out last month in the Radical Earth universe, which, yeah, that's... I've already talked to you two about that, to my two awesome viewers. What ended up happening was, for Delta Fang Conflicts, the developers wanted to give players total freedom in what to do, regardless of what planet they choose to go to in the game. So it could be, you know, the capital planet of Metropia, or the scorching hot planet of, Volcane, or something like that. Basically, one of the things you could do is you could drive vehicles. And one of the vehicles you could drive, or the kinds of vehicles, are civilian cars, which you don't steal them, you just purchase them using the currency you've earned in the game. And just trying to look around, seeing if I miss anything. One of the vehicles is called the Velocina, which, judging by the name, it sounds pretty Italian. But the Velocina, or the Velocina, whatever you want to call it, it's inspired by a Ferrari, but, you know, noticeably more futuristic. And, I do plan on building that, although I have built vehicles. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny, so in the Delta Fang universe, which it's its own separate universe now because of how deep the lore is, Metropia has different countries that are inspired by real-life countries. So we have Amiradon, which I will type right here. almost misspelled country. Alright, so that's how you spell Amiradon. So, yeah. We also have Francois, or no, it used to be called Francois, but then after thinking about it, it sounds really confusing, so it's now called Francois. And Francois is a combination of France and the UK. And the thing is, initially when I was brainstorming ideas for the Delta Fang stuff, people in the Solaria system, or other people call it Solaria, there's two different pronunciations. They didn't really have any accents at all. There would be deviations from the normal accent, but over time, as I thought about it more and more, I thought, you know, it wouldn't really be right for everyone to sound pretty much the same. So when I started role-playing as the different characters, for example, you two know about Osiris, who is the lead pilot of the Anubis squadron from Onabar, which I was about to type out the name, but I've already put it into the Discord. So, despite Onabar itself being inspired by Egypt, or rather like the desert part of Egypt, their accents are inspired by a sort of royal sounding British sounding voice. And I did that to give them a... It's kind of weird to say this, but it's because of the fact that it gives them more of a important presence in Metropia. Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, yeah. Alright, anyway. Oh, wait. Should probably go ahead and color those in, the buttons. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Oh, right, the Velocina. Which I also... I almost called the Velocita, but then I thought Velocina sounds more fancy. Even though it doesn't even sound that Italian. Like, it kind of does. Which leads me to my next topic. There's another country... Oh, hello. But there's another country on Metropia known as Italiora. And Italiora, as you could guess by the name, is primarily based on Italy. And the Velocina is, believe it or not named from Italian, but based on Italioran languages. And Velocina simply means speed. And, you know, obviously with a vehicle like the Velocina, which is based on a Ferrari, but, you know, futuristic, it makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway. So we have the buttons here, the power button and the disk drive button. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put these here, and they will have their own LED indicator. For I don't know what I'm trying to say. My brain doesn't want to work. It's just like, no, no, I don't wanna. Oh, right. So we have, I lost my train of thought again. Oh, right. So we have two different LED indicators. So we have the power indicator, which is here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be on later tonight. Or later this afternoon, depending on whenever I get done with whatever I need to do today. But yeah, I'll see you there. Okay, but we have the power indicator, which is here. And that's the green light whenever it's turned on. And a red light when it's turned off. When it's in sleep mode, there's a gently pulsing yellow orangish light that signifies that the console is in sleep mode. And yeah. Anyway, yeah, so all right. There's that. And now wait. That is not at all what I was trying to do. Yeah, that happens. It happens to the best of us. Alright. So we have that, and I'm going to go ahead and color this stuff in. How do I keep doing that? Keep getting the wrong pieces. Okay. Right. my best course of action would probably be just to do this. Okay. Now, now, you're probably wondering, am I also going to make the controller? Yes. I mean, what kind of person would I be not build the controller, you know? It's like putting the cart before the... Wait, no. No, that saying wouldn't even work in this situation. Hmm. Well, anyway. Right. So here's how I'm going to do the disk drive. Got... Oh. that I think about it, I probably should have put those slopes there. Just for the sake of being uniform. Alright. Now then, time for the other LED indicator, which will be heaps more interesting. Yeah, that's right, there's another LED indicator on this stupid thing. Not stupid. I heard something. Alright, so we have the main console itself, which has the power indicator right here. Then we have the actual console itself, which we'll be using this as its LED indicator. So this right here, I don't know where that came from. This right here is meant to be the indicator for the disc. And what will happen is when there is a disc inside the console, it will actually glow a... That's the wrong color. Or not color, but wrong size. Anyway. Yeah, so case in point, it will be a blue color. And for the disk drive not having anything inside of it, all that's going to happen is that it will be just not glowing. Oh, wait. No, that won't work. Okay, so... Anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and yeah, that seems like a good spot. Alright. So then we have something else I should probably do, which is alright, so who's up for a little bit of artwork? As in, oh, wait, what am I doing? I need to get the letters first. Alright. So, that is the name of the company that made this console, Protendo. Protendo itself, as you would guess by the name, is a play on words with Nintendo, but the name has another meaning behind it. You'll notice that part of the name says Pro. That's because of the fact that the tagline for Protendo is play like a pro. And as a result, it's basically like Nintendo, but for one, they don't strike down fan projects. In fact, they actually reach out to fans who have made games and will even hire them in one of their many studios. Not only that, but you know, you don't have to worry about the games being, just, oh hey look, another Mario. Hey look, another thing. Also, the border that surrounds the logo is green instead of red. And, yeah, so now, with that, we're now ready to cap off this console with, well, another thing. I'm kidding. But, yeah. Anyway, let's actually do the thing that I was gonna do. So, the GameRay. So, the reason why it's called the GameRay, of course, like I said, this console is kind of based on the Nintendo GameCube, but it's not cubes. Like, it doesn't look like a cube. It's more like a cross between the Sega Dreamcast and the Nintendo GameCube in terms of functionality. Only, unlike the GameCube, it doesn't have a reset button. We have the power button right here, and then we have the disc tray button. So, yeah. Okay, so now if I could please just stop being distracted, which tends to happen a lot. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. I hope that works out well, because wait, isn't that the same kind of thing that I have on some of the avatars I've gotten? I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. Alright. Actually, speaking of VR chat and avatars, some news came out recently that the same website that was hosting that competition to rip avatars in VR chat, their website's shutting down. That's awesome. Alright. Now, for this... Now... Anyway, I find that I always say a lot whenever I'm, just thinking. And I used to try to not do that, but yeah, that's really good too, because people don't have to worry as much about people using that. Like, there's probably other things out there, but at least that one's out of the way. And what's really funny is it's literally 2 weeks after their little contest thing ended. So I find that really coincidental. Right. Anyway, whoa. Sorry about that. That sounded like the Macho Man. Yeah, so. Okay. Right. Okay. Wait. Probably shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. There we go. Nope. Wait. No, that still won't work. Because, what I'm trying to do is... Okay, there's that. So actually I did have the right idea by doing that. Because what I was going to do was I was going to add... so let me explain what I was trying to do there. That initially I thought, oh wait, I'm doing the wrong thing, when I actually wasn't. So the disk drive is essentially almost done. All I have to do now is, for one, I have to yeah, it does open. There we go. Alright, so now I can actually color this in and explain what I was trying to do. So what I was trying to do is, I was trying to make sure that, for one, this was able to open, so in case someone was crazy enough to actually build one of these things in real life, you could definitely do that. Second of all, I was also doing this right here because of the fact that, you know, yeah. Anyway, okay. So we have that. Now time to wait. Did I seriously forget to... Yes, I did. I forgot to color... I forgot to color the stuff in! Good job, me. And I also forgot to put something there to make sure it doesn't look so empty. Alright. And then after this, I will be going on to the, ooh. Gotta love getting random texts. Alright, so there's the GameRay console. Again, I know it's not perfect, I know it's a little rough around the edges. But, you know, what isn't? What? There we go. So that is the console in all of its shiny glory. In actually, no. So I originally gave it the name no. The actual color of the console is Quicksilver. But now we're going to go to the controller, or as most people in the Radical Earth universe call them, gamepads. The RayPad. So the RayPad, whenever I first made a pre-production model of the GameRay, was originally a more traditional game controller. But here's the thing. Just in order to get the proportions correct on a controller like that in Lego form, takes a lot of practice. So I thought, you know, I think what I might do for this is do something a bit more unorthodox. For you see, the GameRay has a similarity to yet another game console, that being the Wii U. How so? Because the controller actually acts as a second screen, although it's more like... Shut up. My phone's like, bing. Anyway. It's more so that the console itself has the primary screen, which is on the TV, and then we have the second screen. So think of it sort of like a DS if it was a full-sized console and not a handheld. So, yeah. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing here is, well, making the gamepad, or the RayPad. And we're going to start off by doing the shoulder buttons. Because, you know, yeah. So here's how we're going to do all this. So we have the controller, that is the handle, then we have So the ray pad is this thing right here, and it's going to be a little confusing to explain, but I'll say it anyway. So you can buy them separately, as they are technically considered a controller. However, here's where things get a little interesting. So the ray pad itself is considered a second screen-like device, meaning that when in use, well, yeah. Anyway, So we're almost done here, thankfully. Right. So we have the shoulder buttons here, which will be colored in now with by the way, I'm really sorry if this stream is long. It's just, I want to make sure that everything about this is good before I finish up. Anyway. Actually, you know what? That actually looks really good. I'm actually really surprised with how well this has turned out so far. Like, wow. Oh. Let me guess, the thing... Actually, here's something I probably should do. First of all, I do need to fill in this empty space right here. Wait, what am I doing? Oh. Yeah, but hey, it's like we've talked about before. It's a learning experience. You'll learn little by little, and as you get used to it, you'll become more acquainted with it. So, yeah. Anyway, this is the plugin spot. Okay. Right. So, but, wait, come on. There. Like I said before, if you want to get this program, it's completely free. It's called Bricklink. Just one word, Bricklink. And it actually kind of sounds like when you just click together Lego bricks, like clink, clink. Anyway, okay. Wait. So we are almost done with this. I'm not going to make the cable for the controller though, because I'm not that crazy. Alright. I will, however, color this in. Then I'm going to do something else, which will probably take away from my sanity. Which is, well, first I need to add Anyway, yeah, so. Okay, now, before I finish things off, but, yeah, take it from me, Jack. Whenever I started making stuff like this, it wasn't easy to get used to because, you know, like, I first started off in Lego Digital Designer, and even then, it was pretty hard to get used to that because the last time I'd ever used it was, whenever I was a little kid. But, over time, I became more and more acquainted with it, so the key is to keep at it until you hone your skills with it, and then eventually you will, you know, become better at it. So, yeah. I know that's kind of an obvious, it's kind of an obvious tip, but, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, almost done here. Well, kind of. I should also say that the controller doesn't have to be hooked up to the console. It just has to be close by to it. Okay, we are almost done here. Finally. After what seems like an eternity, you're almost done. Alright. Now to finish this off with Alright, well, we are done. So, PRD just means production, so it's the finalized product. And there we go. And now, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this long stream that took 2.5 hours. But yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, then please like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. You don't have to do any of that, but it's certainly appreciated. And be sure to let your friends know about this channel so that way they could check it out. And, well, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you.